Hello everybody and welcome to yet another episode of Jeep. Today we're going to talk about this Jeep Rubicon 2018. The all-new additions and technology packages in it. This one's actually very well equipped. This is sponsored by Jack Phelan out in the countryside, servicing the Chicagoland area and the suburbs. Check this out. We're going to start with the front, of course. This is a upgrade, right? This is a metal bumper. You have the LED lights, HIDs, LED lights again as well. Rubicon package, so you'll see the fenders are also color matched. There's an option. You will see the tires are bigger, the wheels are slightly smaller. This is for the off-road capabilities. If you look there, you have the improved shocks, and we'll go into the off-roading capabilities a little bit more in a minute here. You'll see the red hooks, towing hooks. There's two in the front and one in the back. You also see that everything's color matched, and this is my favorite color, the mojito color. Honestly, I was talking to our cameraman earlier that if I was to buy one like this, I'd get custom plate that says Hulk on it because I just love this. Check out the back. These are the new lights as well. They are shaped differently. They are of course also LED. This one does also come with a spare tire in the back, and it's a full spare. You also see there's a camera in it for this year. I don't know if you guys remember, but Jeeps were very rare on the cameras. And another thing, keyless remote access entry, which means if the key's in my pocket or in my hand and the car is locked, I can just walk up to it, pull on the door handle, and it will open when I'm in proximity, right? And I can lock it with this little button right here. Window opens, roof is of course removable. This one comes with the option of the hardtop. The soft top is possible to get if you want it. If you don't want it, or you can always change the hard top to the soft top too. They are removable, and this one has a cool feature you'll see in the front too. It's got two panels in the front, so you have two. It's kind of like a T-top almost, right? But not really. You take these two panels off first, and you can remove these on your own. It's really easy. It's just three levers. You twist them and you take it off. The back one is a little bigger because it does include this back window, and it is a little bit tougher to take out. You do need two people to remove it, but once you do, it's a truly awesome experience to drive without the roof. And this is the only car that's a convertible, and also you can remove the doors, and those are super easy. You get a toolkit in the back, and all you gotta do is unscrew, unplug, and then take the doors off, and you're done. And for the screws, there's a cool little spot. People always ask me, what is this for? In the back, when you remove the roof, or the doors, I mean, this is for your screws. You see it says door hinges, and roof and windshield, so you don't lose your screws. I know screws are very hard to keep track of. This will keep track of them for you. You can open this up as well, and underneath it here is your jack and toolkit for if you get stuck. Pretty neat. This one does also have like a secret little storage underneath the trunk, which I like for tools or whatever you want to use. I generally recommend putting stuff in there that you don't want to get wet if you're off-roading. Since this is a Rubicon, you are gonna off-road with it, I hope. Otherwise, you should probably get a Sahara. Check this out too. Color matched. What's it called? Frame around on this when you remove the roof. So you still have the cool color of the mojito green. The rear bumper is also metal. That is an upgrade option that you can get. The car does have sensors in the back for this year's model too. So that means it will beep when you get close. Blind spot monitors, you guys have been asking for it. The car finally has the tech upgrades you wanted. Blind spot monitors, rear crosspath detection as well. We'll go into the interior next and go a little bit more over that. Welcome to the interior now. This is the updated version for 2018. They have revamped the interior of the Wrangler. You no longer see the old screen. You now have the touch screen, the 8.4 inch. Of course, they have the smaller versions if you wanted. The 7 inches available, and they have the small 3-inch screen as well if you decided to go all the way to the lowest version. But it is fully updated. Everything's new. It is a full touch screen. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You have navigation, backup camera, sensors, blind spot monitors. I really do like what they've done with this interior. It looks way more modern. There's a USB plug-in, actually two of them, an auxiliary plug. Your windows are here as well. You have your lockings, your sway bar buttons, your auxiliary power outlets here, heated steering wheel, heated seats for the front, parking sensors, automatic start-stop. What that button does is turns it off. A lot of people don't feel weird when the car shuts off on you. This car will, to save fuel when you're at a longer light, turn its engine off, and then it will turn it back on the moment you let go of the brake. Now this one also has the Alpine sound system, and in this car, I mean, this thing is super loud. If you look behind you here, you have the 2 speakers here, so I mean that's right next to your ear, and it's actually really powerful. There's a subwoofer in the trunk. It's probably about this big. If you look at it, I mean that thing puts out some power. You have some nice convenient little storage things here, and of course a really big storage bin right here. You will see that the center console, you have a flat little spot for something smaller, and a really deep glove box for other items as well. And this does lock with the key. Why do they have these things lock? It's kind of like your glove box. Especially in this car, they have to have the locking mechanisms on those. Because let's say you take the roof off, you take the doors off, it would be really easy for somebody to steal stuff from your center console if you didn't have that locking mechanism. You also see there are handles everywhere, so when you're off-roading, you can hold on to yourself. There's handles for the driver, the passenger, and 2 for the back seat drivers as well. You will see this is what I mentioned earlier. These 2 panels, they're super easy. I mean, all you gotta do is 1, 2, 3 twists, right? You twist these off, you push it off, and you put it in the trunk. The last thing you gotta do is take this off. I'm not gonna take it off, it's super easy. However, you can probably already tell it's not something difficult to do. Besides that, what else you have in this one is this one's got the white axles, the 3rd generation 44 HD Dana axles in the front and rear. It is a standard feature on the Unlimited Rubicon for the 2018 year. You can of course change the axle ratings if you want to custom order your button. We'll go over that as well. If you take a look at this little handy dandy note keeper here, right? It tells you all the options. This one has about $15,000 in options, so it's pretty well equipped. You do have the remote proximity keys, which I mentioned, the LED daytime running lamps, which are really nice, and they're actually on the bumper. They're the 2 little side panels which we went over earlier. As far as the interior features go for the screen, it is the same as on your Chargers, your Challengers, and all the other luxury cars from the FCA brand. You have the full Sirius Radio with FM AM channels and 12 different presets. You can turn on your map during your music, so you can kind of select everything as you're going. For media, you can of course go Bluetooth auxiliary plug or USB. You can also go right into your apps if you want. There's SOS, there's assistance, buttons on the mirror as well. There's travel link, Wi-Fi hotspot if you want to order it. If you see the projection manager, that's the Apple CarPlay and the Android Auto. Backup camera, which in the Fiat Chrysler brand you can turn on at any point in time. I'm not sure why you would, maybe if you're towing or if you want to spy on somebody behind you without cranking your head around. That's a good way. Make sure your kids are grabbing their lunches when you're dropping them off at school in this super cool Dadmobile. If you take a look at the controls too, heated seats, obviously high, low, medium settings, heated steering wheel, and of course your setting customization. You can customize this car to your liking. You do have the option to change the units, change the time, kind of customized to your preferences a little bit. And of course navigation, this one has the navigation option. I really like going with this one because if you go to full screen, it's a really big map. It's really easy to see, and surprisingly, even at night, even though the screen is fairly bright, it doesn't bother you as you're driving. But if you do want to turn it off, there is a handy dandy button right there. You can press and have it off. You have another screen right in front of you, the HUD heads-up display, the speedometer that you can change if you decide to go to Canada or Mexico to kilometers per hour. You also have the screen setup, which allows you to customize the 4 corners here to whatever you like. 2 corners here. No messages I have currently. The car will tell you if something's wrong with it. It's pretty intelligent. There's also your audio controls there, and then you have your stop-start controls, which I mentioned earlier. You also have your trip information, which you can kind of see what kind of fuel efficiency you're getting, how long you've been driving, yada yada yada. You have your fuel economy, which you can check on the go, and it will keep data for you. And then you have your off-road capabilities. You see, you have your sway bar that's connected, your drivetrain right there. You can actually go to the right and see some more options on the off-road. It will tell you how we're tilted, so you see how the car is standing for the pitch and roll. If we roll more, it will obviously tilt. I'm trying to kind of shake here to show you, but it's not going to work because I'm not fat enough. Vehicle info, of course, you have the tire pressure. You want to make sure your tire pressure is good on the Wrangler. It's key. Coolant temperature, your trans temperature, you can check all your options, oil temperature, oil pressure, oil life. So if you are lazy like myself and you don't want to grab the dipstick to see the oil life, it will tell you. Literally, the car will tell you that you need to change your oil for you. Battery voltage, it will keep track of your battery so you're never stranded because your car will not die if you pay attention to what your car says to you. You'll see here you have your 2H, 4H, and then 4L. So 2H is obviously two-wheel drive, right? It's rear-wheel drive in the car standard until you change it to four-wheel drive. 4 high is your four-wheel drive that you want to use. Neutral is obviously for towing and other purposes. 4 low, that's something you want to do with only heavy snow, right? It's an option that you shouldn't really access unless you absolutely need to, or if you're really going off-road. That will spin all your wheels at once, and you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're damaging your tires while turning on the road. You don't want to turn on 4L on the regular road. I wouldn't even recommend turning on 4H because the two-wheel drive on the Wrangler with these tires should do enough. But I would say if you have really bad snow, go ahead, turn on the 4H. Don't go for the 4L. Obviously, when you're buying a Rubicon, you're not using it just to battle city snow. You're using it to have some fun off-road and handle some rocky mountains or some trails. That's why you have these controls here, as I showed earlier. The front plus rear and rear only, and locking and sway bar options as well. Automatic lights, of course, power mirrors, power locks. Everything you guys have asked for in the Wrangler, it's here now. And we have many of these in stock. All you gotta do is call the number on the screen and we'll take care of you. We have some phenomenal plans, some phenomenal options. We also have a red carpet delivery option. So if you know the Wrangler, you know what you want, you know what options you want, all you gotta do is search for the car you want on our website, call us up and say, hey, could you deliver it to my house, and we'll bring it to you with the paperwork and with a salesperson to explain everything to you. Give us a call whenever you're ready, and thank you for watching Jack Phelan Jeep.